So you mentioned that you went to Regent, and I've been asking people, how did they end up choosing the school that they went to? I've had people who are like, oh, like for me, I worked at the university, so they were like, hey, we'll give you one for free. So I was like, well, I will take that. Like, even though I left before I finished and I had to pay for the rest of it. And then I have some people who are like, well, I started here and then went over here.
Mhm.
How did you end up choosing your program?
Yeah,
And talk
so
about Regent specific.
okay. So it's two different things, I guess. So I graduated and went to school at HBCU, Howard University,
Mm,
go Bison. And
mhm.
then I had went to work, after college stuff and ended up in Virginia Beach area.
Okay.
And that job actually paid for a higher for a degree. And so I became familiar with Regent while I was living there right out of college. And I
Mhm.
ended up getting my master's from Regent. So I found out about that earlier in
Mhm.
my career. And Regent is one of the top online
Mm.
school programs in the US. Actually, I think they're up there with the worldwide because our students were from everywhere,
Oh, that's awesome.
literally.
Mhm.
Regent University is based in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Was it Pat Robertson who just passed
Mm.
away? He
Mm.
actually created that. So think TBN, Christian Broadcasting, all that's
Yeah.
what it's tied to. And
Mhm.
so when I went to 10 years later to go back and get my doctorate, I wanted to go somewhere where I felt that the teachers could relate,
Mm.
believed in giving grace, understood life still keeps lifing when you're
Yeah.
trying to do this. And I had that feeling when I was at Regent. And when I was there the first time, I did in person and online, but it was being able to have that flexibility. So with
Mhm.
my program, we went in for like 2 weeks a year for a residency,
Oh, I
right? So
love it.
you were able to buy, but the majority of stuff was online. And
Mhm.
so, but they were really big on creating courses that you were face to face with everybody 2 or 3 times a week, right?
Mm.
And how they set up stuff. So I was looking for a school that gave that sort of supportive family atmosphere. I
Mhm.
went to school that was for my doctorate based on my belief, tied to my
Got it.
values,
Mm.
which this one did. And then I was looking for a degree. Honestly, I didn't want to have to take any more GRE, any of that kind of
Right,
crap.
sure.
That was definitely a thing, but I
Mhm.
wanted a degree that would let me grow, right? That
Mm.
would let me that had flexibility in how I could take my classes
Yeah.
and stuff. And with like the DSL program, you're learning the strategic leadership, but they have all these different concentrations in that area. And
Mhm.
I really want, they give you time to figure that out. I ended up on strategic foresight, but they had coaching in it. They had
Mm.
international business. They had all kinds of stuff because this was still within the School of Business, but their degrees gave a different aspect to it. So
Mm.
that was important. So I would say for me, it was tied to what was important to me at that point in my
Yeah.
life, my values, the flexibility, because I wasn't moving anywhere and I had a full-time job trying to do
Mhm.
that. And what were the program offerings and
Yeah.
really getting to know the teachers. That was
That's good.
huge, was around the teachers.
That's really good.